こんしち everyone good afternoon こんしち How are you みんな元気I'm fine 元気こんにちは。めちゃめちゃ久しぶりに原神の配信をします。久しぶり原神ストリームイエーイ。よいしょ。おはようね。原神をするんですけれど、ちょっとねみんなに言わなきゃいけない。I got 勝利イエーイ。勝利イエーイ。勝利クール He's cool。 勝利先生と勝利先生とやれみこがいます。
ふむ、何時からの誘いであれば
モナも出ました。
仕方ありませんね。
グッモニングッモニング I got やえみこ。
姿を残さん、姿を残さん、姿を残さん。
本当にね、なんかガチャを引きたい、それだけでねガチャを引いてたんだよ。そしたら
姿を残さん、
出ちゃった。
具現化せよ。
やえみこ出てしまった。モナイズすり抜け、すり抜けってなんだろう。すり抜けすり抜けました。モナがすり抜けてガンシッチ。あとね、国生ちゃんがさ、違うな、これだな、いっぱい出たI wanted to get show but 天井でね重なっちゃったんだよ、国生ちゃんが。Instead of show 国生ちゃんカムケイムピエンということで、なんかいっぱい星5がね増えました。星5メニキャラクターズ。そういえ、
時間を無駄にしちゃいけないわ。今こそ出陣の時。
ああフォー国生ちゃん。ああさっとめっちゃそれは悲しいな。よし、まずねちょっとデイリーをやらせてください。デイリーファースト I will do デイリークエスト。高いところ危険。全部ねモンドにしてるんだよ。モンドはなんかね、
裁きの雷ボ
リューム OK？
そこやった。
これ大丈夫かなって。ボリューム OK？ OK ですか？よっ
よ
付き合いよ OK よし、帰ろう。あ、ボリューム is fine thank you。 これ大丈夫だね。よし、どこニューイベント I already
いざ
プレイニューイベント。なんか演歌の宮のイベントはねもうやっちゃった。なんかめっちゃ時間かかるよって言われてね、なんかもうマイフレンド、違うな、シスターだマイシスター
見切りました。
do プレイ原神&ニューイベント take will take me a lot of time。 そう、
難攻不落。
裁きの雷
スマホで撮ってんだけど、この撮ってるというかスマホをね充電がね持たなくなってきてたんだ。マイスマートフォンズバッテリー
天理チョーク
やば。なうなんて言うんだろう。
逃げ道はありません。
さあ持たなくなってきて
さようなら。
スマホのスタンドが
諦めなさい。
今ないよね。
よ
だからね充電しながら配信できなくてだからねあんまり長い時間今配信できないんだよ。あ、どこだ。ここか。よいしょ。マイホームタウンモンド。えいイノシシをやっつけて行く。よいしょ。なんだろうなこれ。
いざ
I
難
hate
攻不落
I hate abyss。 めっちゃ
裁きの
嫌いだよ。
砕きやがれ器用のおとりだどりゃ
これ誰を育てればいいと思う。次
と
What Which character should I なんていうの。成長させる育てるグローアップ。どのキャラクターをすればいい。今のところ私はヘロー I think I should grow up。 ベネットくんベネットベネットくんだと思うんだけど。Yesレイズ Yes すごいイングリッシュプロ Thank you。 Which characters should I raise イエーイ。そうだ
岩山八九
見切りました。
完成。
降参しなさい。
まずねベネットくんをなんか強いって聞くじゃん。
ガン闘牛鬼
ベ
の
ネットイズ
狂気乱舞
やっぱり
あらどりゃ
可愛いしなベネットくん。
たそりゃ
よし。ベネット It's almost everywhere OK。
追いつけまい
じゃあ Next I will raise ベネットくんをやろう。4ピースノブリースってなんだ。ベネットエレメンタルバースト is so overpower。 マジベネットくん育てよう。そうしよう。 OK。 NEXT ベネットくんな。これ何つければいいと思う。これなんだっけこれなんていうのこれ。生物だ。生物何つければいいんだ。なんか適当に今つけてるけど、まあ
新たき天
頑張ろう。
下第一一頭
今度
ここに
よし。
艦長
じゃあ行くか。オッケー。待って忘れてた。取らないと報酬を。よいしょ。
星とし
オッケー普通に変身してるわこれ。いつもの光景これ。よいしょオッケ
星とし
ー。んで
無事今日の
そうこれをもらうじゃん。したら一回弾くじゃん 毎回1回で引く。あ、ダメだ。もうたまったら引く。I love ガチャ。そう。Every time I roll ガチャ。やばい。全然来ないけどね。だからダメなんだよ。天井でしか来ないと思ってるから引いちゃうんだよね。よし。じゃあ行く。雷電将軍。あ、待って。設定でどっちがいいかな。じゃあボイスをね、イングリッシュにしとこう。キャラボイスを英語にしよう。OK？ Oh! OK? イングリッシュボイス now。イエーイ。本当かな？ Beautiful。
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
おう、すごい。こんな感じなんだ。アビス。
Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission,
ほうほう。
and after careful consideration, we believe that
The traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
かわいい。
indeed, as ever. I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help?
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Towns are attacking the roots of the sacred sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Rift House?
すごい、なんか
On Narukami Island?
英語の全然わかんねえわ。
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target. The sacred sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already?
これ聞いたことある？まあ、聞いたことあるにしとこう。
Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own.
早かちょ、マジ。
However, given that the sacred sakura's root
Same
system is
voices,
vast
Maji.
and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and
すげえな。
scale of the Rift Town's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them.
ほうほう。
Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively
桜の
looking
木
to
を守るん
cooperate
だ
with
ね。
all other available forces to eliminate the monsters. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far,
聖域ハウ
the
ンド。
combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed to
11
substantially ameliorate the situation.
11
You have our deepest
11
gratitude.
ハウンドで合
Your
ってんのか
confident
な？
response puts me far more at ease. I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances
な
have
ん
been
か
recently
雷
reported.
の
I hope you won't
狼
encounter
みたい
too
なやつ
much
かな。
trouble
犬
overcoming
だ
them.
ね、きっと。
Relax. We'll be back before you can say Ad Astra Abyssosk.
パイモンズボイス is cute。かわいい。おー。
The
Right。
sacred sakura's in danger again, huh? Who'd have
どこだ？
That place isn't even
11ハウンド。行くか。これだよね、これを守ると。神桜。ちょっと、全然読み方わかんないけど。Oh, hola, ¿cómo está?
Keeping the sacred
Hola.
sakura safe was Kazari's greatest wish, and now
Muy
these
bien,
mangy mutts are trying
gracias.
to destroy
¿Y tú?
it. Time to teach him a lesson.
あ、やべやべやべ。あ、よかった。
You're attacking the sacred
あー、こ
sakura.
いつか。
Stop them.
こいつか。まさか、
Shine down.
これ、侵食ダメージがあるやつじゃ。
It's nothing.
なし。
I will have order.
うわ、すごい。ボイスが全然違くて面白いね。あ、なんだって。えい。
Gather.
うわ、
There is no escape.
勝
Now
利
you
ボイ
shall
ス。
perish.
全然違う。よいしょ。
Ha! Ha! Shine down.
いた。いた。
Submit.
よ
Don't
いし
waste
ょ。
my.
Wow, there are so many of them. No wonder under the Tenryou
I
Commission
hate
needed
this
help. Come on, traveler,
enemy.
you can take him.
いた。嘘。よいしょ。
Stabilize. This is
ステイバ
order.
ライズ。
There is no escape.
It's showtime.
おお。
Huh.
ロールボイス。いい声だね。あなたき。
Torn to oblivion.
おお。おお、ライデン。
Shogun?
将軍
Wait, no. Kudos will be A.
将軍だ。よいしょ。
Oh, it's you two.
将
It
軍
has been a long time.
将軍か
We have
な
not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Okay,
Thank
sounds
you.
more like A.
将軍。
It is you, right? You sure made short work of them. That was amazing.
強い。ストロング、ライデン将軍、ストロング。
I'm making early preparations
あ、
for
また
what
ビ
is to
テンキュー
come.
そマチスパチャット。
Last
グッ
time
ド
we
ニュー
took
し
a
おり。
walk around
ユーイングリッシ
Inazuma
ュでさくれ
together.
た。
I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past. Since then, every time I encounter an
ああ、いいこ
obstacle
と
in
だ
my
よ。引
thinking,
きこも
I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the
引き
outside
こもって
world.
ないの。いいね。いい
Makes
よ。
sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
うんうん。
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself? Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds.
あの
I
犬
considered
み
this
たいなや
matter
つが
worthy of my attention,
桜を攻撃して
so I
る。
pursued them,
なるほど
and。they led me here, where I happened to run into you.
そうだね。将軍
If the shogun rather than I were to discover them,
が出る
Yes.
幕、出る幕
perhaps
と
she
か
would
で
have left the situation
出
alone.
なくてもね、私が片付けてやるから。
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely.
うん。
According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the
So
Tri
なんか
Commission. But
そうだった。
rift
エイが
hounds attacking the sacred
人形なんだ
Sakura.
よね。そういえば。もうなんだ。
It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
テリブルディザスタ
Yes. 500 years ago,
おう
a great catastrophe befell Inazuma.
おう
Everything
500
was
年前
engulfed in a
めち
pitch
ゃめ
black
ちゃ前じゃない
fog,
か。
and monsters ravaged the land.
うんうん。
Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely
500
escaped
って
being
結構前だよね。
obliterated entirely. The monsters committed many atrocities on
何年くらい？
Inazuman soil,
でも計算ができ
and
ん
the。rift hounds were
1500
always their
年ぐらい。
advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and
や
teeth,
ばいやばい。
and then call in even more powerful beasts.
カンルイヤの。
So you've heard of it
カン
too.
ルイヤの何か
That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall.
うんうん。
Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
わかんないような。
Since we are both here for the
すごい
same
なんか
reason,
パイモン
let
に
us
共
work
感できる
together.
わ。なんか
From
同
the
じ
traces
反応
they've
して
left
し
in
ま
the
うな。
surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby.
うんうん。
All of them must be eliminated.
Yes。オッケー行こ
Paimon
う
feels。so safe when we're in Ace company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it?
うんうんうんうん。
Oh yeah. After we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Conria.
カンルイヤ。カンルイヤ。
This
や
color.
べえ、ちょっと
It's similar to the color when the sacred sakura
傷ついてたのね。
damage.
なんかね、侵食ダメージがえぐ。
I will.
キュート
Let's
ボイ
follow
ス。
it. It should be this way.
え、めっちゃ可愛いこの声。よいしょ。あ、なんだ。なんだこれ。なんだこれ。これ、あれこれじゃない書いてあるよね。えい。あれあ、これか。よいしょ。なるほど。どこだ？こっち？あ、なるほど。こ これか。First time here Genshin in English. おお。7。
Wheel of Life.
かわいい。7の7ボイスかわいい。あーた。これでしょ。あとどこ？どこやどこや。ここでしょ。探して探して。な
Can't
け
catch
ど
me.
ないないない。痕跡？あそこか。なるほど。
We are lucky.
Oh.
The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing?
すごい。神秘的だね。
Huh?
なんだ？お？
What's this?
What's this? なんだこれは。
Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the
なんか
first time we'd seen ghosts on our
あ
journey.
ったね。勝利先生のやつじゃない？
Why would they appear
Which
here?
character do you like?
Let's search the area.
My husband
Perhaps
is
we will find out.
ガイア。ガイアさんが推しなんだけど、使ってないですね。I don't
I
use
can't go on
ガイ
like
ア。
this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
My wife
What
is
happened
あや
here?
か。
Could you tell
そう
us?。
キュート。
Who are you?
So cute.
What are you doing here?
あやか。So cute.
Run quick
ガイ
while
ア
you still
ガイア
can. The monsters will be
So
back.
cool.
And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you, there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath.
これ500年前の人たちだな、きっと。
You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness.
Darkness.
Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They're merciless,
やばい。
ferocious,
これ
and
500
they will
年前の
devour everything in their path.
めちゃめちゃディザスターのやつ。
Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you.
おう
They'll devour it all.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now, there's no time left.
No time left.
The almighty Shogun is gone.
わかるように
So
なっ
is
てきた。
Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to
狐
rely on but
狐
ourselves.
細具
I don't know how
誰 や
long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's
ナイスボイ
the
ス。
Shogun?
めっちゃいい
You're
子じゃん。
back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma.
いえ。
Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground for the beasts.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
なんだっけ
Over.
あそこ
But
めっちゃ幽霊がいる
what do
と
you
ころ
mean? Shogun.
っぽい。
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows.
ゴースト。
This is
There.
Inazuma at peace,
Ghost.
as you will no doubt remember. There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
What?
成仏するか
But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine now.
はいな。
I think I understand. Almighty Shogun,
頭
you
がいい。
saved Inazuma. Yes, we were right to place our trust in the Almighty Shogun.
将軍ボイス。
As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity.
北村。
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
北村。
What's wrong with him?
成仏した。
He's gone.
イエーイ。めっちゃ
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad and hopeless.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land. The sacred sakura can absorb and purify the
Sacred
filth in the
sakura.
ley lines.
セイクリッド桜。
After the rift hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity.
あ、そうなの。
An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory.
汚れを
Purified filth
集
quickly
めることがで
dissipates
きるんだね。
and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
メイちゃんって誰だっけ？ちょっとあれこれメイって読む。これ誰だっ
So
け？
the memories of the ones that died
こ
are
れ
all
記憶
appearing
が
at this
記
moment?
憶がないんだ。やばい。
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago.
フイズキツネ細工キツネイツキわかんない。これはヤエミコのことなのかな。
Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time.
はい、レビーさん。
Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria.
カンリア。
The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late. Otherwise, it would spread to all of Tevat. But my friend, Kitsune Saiku,
キツネ細工。
reassured me that I had nothing
Yeah,
to worry
Miko.
about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat. I could tell
キ
that,
ツネ細工。
although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in
キ
Kanria?
ツネ細工 is not ヤエミコ。
Indeed,
ほう。
countless monsters
なるほど。
suddenly appeared
I
throughout all of
understood.
Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life
あ
to protect the people. I never had the chance to see her one last
あ、
time,
キツネ細工。
but I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have
そんな
ever
ことが
imagined.
あったんだね。
Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day, both on the land itself and in my heart.
Hey,
えい。えい。
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer
だから
Tatarigami
なん
and
かさ、
vanquish
栄養を
monsters,
求めるみたいになったんだな。
I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive.
将軍。いや
But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
ー、偉い。
When I traveled around Inazuma with
Right.
you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Everything far exceeded my expectations. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also new encounters.
そうだね。
Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward. All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for.
すごい。
As Inazuma's god,
すごいいい。
it is
ナ
high
イスストー
time
リ
I
ー。
honored their wishes.
めっちゃいい。
Warriors
話じゃん。
of the past, who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
He's taking all this pretty hard.
パイモンパイモン
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
ライデン将軍、もうこれはすぐもうやるしかない。これなんだろう、どこだ、あった、もう、あ、いた、
Expected, there are a
い
lot
ま
of
した。
Rifthounds here too.
Leave
将
them
軍
to
し
me.
かおらん。今も全然気づかなかったけど、これ将軍しかいない。オンリー将軍はびっくり。ちょっと待って、違い、いつもさシールドに頼ってるから。勝利先生、ちょっと待って。
Now you shall perish.
そう、避けれてないよ、いつも。体当たりしてるから、いつもシールドがあるから。え、サンクス
Illusion
トゥ
shattered.
勝利 I have シールド
Inazuma shines eternal.
シールド always そう、デンジャラス、危ない。
Something seems wrong with A.
大丈夫？けんちゃな？
Why would you ask that?
Oh?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all in one go! No?
シャキ
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy.
ーン。
Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time.
うん。
I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to face them.
Makes
強
sense!
大な魔
Spoken like a seasoned
Majuka.
shogun.
将軍。
The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is
Oh.
leaking out again.
また500、お、これ待って、これ
Furuyama?
古山
Is that
五
you?
条悟。
Almighty Shogun, what
これ
brings
な
you
んか
back
ツイ
so
ッターで見
soon?
たよ。
I thought you were off fighting a battle in a
I
distant
saw
land.
him on Twitter.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds
Someone
like this guy's
said
talking about
he
500 years
is
ago too.
五条悟、
Allow me to
呪
introduce
術廻
Furuyama.
戦の
He is a tea master and a
Mite
member of
sa.
my retinue.
こ
Though
こで出て
blind,
くんだね。
Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the
Ah.
very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest.
は
I'm
じめま
afraid
して。
I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess out there.
500年前の人だ。
What should we do?
彼の言う通りにしよう。
Yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out there. It's pitch black and loads of people have been injured.
I see. So they have fought their way this far already. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So I decided to stay. And now the almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away.
古山。
Imagine if this was something that even the almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then? People flee out of a desire to live on, and the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life. But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no
す
regrets.
ごい すごいおじい
The
さんだ。
almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart, a true dreamer. One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes,
仏教っぽい。
fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have, seize the chance to enjoy it while it lasts, and have no regrets in the end.
Uh,
そうだよね。でも
So
言
you
わない。
see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the almighty Shogun for the last time. What a pity. I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now.
目見えないんだこの人。
But to me, it went dark a long time ago. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then. So, never mind, eh? Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea. The almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself.
お Hello, hello, fa... あ Hello Hello
I couldn't possibly have my guests
茶道具
fetch
ど
it
こにあるか知って
themselves.
る
That would be most discourteous
私
indeed.
はわからないとこにある
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right
ど
away.
こにあんの
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you?
どこにあんの
No,
茶
no,
道具
no. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories. Leave it to us.
But, well, okay. I never thought I'd see the
そっか、
day
目
that
見
I
えない
need
か
the
ら
almighty Shogun to personally
ど
collect
こ
my
に
tea
いるの
set
かも
for
わ
me.
からないなるほど
I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
ふふふふおヘロもも
Where
ヘ
should we
ロ
go to find a tea set?
神里
Having a
屋
cup of
敷
tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now. But at the same time, this lovely old man from 500 years ago has been through
あやべ胸が痛いな胸が痛いよ
I'm also
あついちゃった
It's the traveler. And the almighty Shogun.
将軍おひら
How
の
might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away.
Thank you
Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea
めっちゃ焦って
set.
る
I'll
じゃ
bring
ん
that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
焦ってるね、平野。
Well, it's
Oh.
not often we have the chance to
おは
chat.
よう。
I'm sure you must have a lot of
あえ
questions.
あえふいやおはよう。お、絵に使えてたのか？
Paimon wanted to ask that
古
too.
山？
The almighty shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial
じゃなくて？
arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea
待ってくれ。
for was the former Electro Archon,
待って。
who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto.
うん。おう。待って。あれ？ちょっと記憶がね、ないわ。ライデン誠？
He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality.
なるほ
She
ど。
always saw things that way.
あ、誠は、
You and Makoto had pretty different views,
あ
huh?
誠
Indeed, we did.
がお姉
It
ちゃんで
was the biggest
お姉ちゃん
difference
は
between us.
移
In
り
her
変わる
eyes,
もの。
the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings.
なるほど。もう忘れてるんだけど、ちょっと待って。お姉ちゃんがいたんだっけ？
They are similar, but not identical.
あ
When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me.
あ。
Now, it seems like she was right. While I took the wayward path.
うん。
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition. An ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words, it is something eternal.
That's
私も
quite a lot to take in.
Yeah, Paimon.
To put it
me too.
simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving?
あ
I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with.
そっちの方が人間の世界観に合ってる。合ってる。
Yes, it does. I always thought that
Stop
she must have grasped some
question mark
elusive,
が
arcane wisdom to
頭の
arrive
中
at the
にも
conclusions she
ボ
did.
ボボボって出てるよ。
But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one.
うん。
Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
うん。
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity,
はいはいはい。
but now
おー。
I no longer cling to what was lost.
えい。
I suppose that means our differences have been reconciled.
Almighty Shogun,
おう。
I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the almighty Shogun.
いい、いいね
It's。all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
よし。行くか。 古山。おう、古山。I like the guard suits. あー、ナイススーツ。いいよね、あの服。よいしょ。こうやってさ、ギリギリを攻めるの好きなんだ。落ちてさ。古山。あれ
Hey, where'd he go?
あれ
He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
何もしかしたら。
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long,
古山。
as was the case with the memory we saw earlier.
So we won't get to drink his tea? We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a
同じ
miracle of
気持ち
fate.
めっちゃ
Mhm.
同じ気持ち。そうね、お茶入れよう
Well,
か。
this chance won't come
ちょ
often,
やめて。
and we do have a tea
だ
set.
だ
Perhaps I should try my
お
hand
茶
at
入れ
making us a
入
pot
れ
of
られる
tea.
んか
I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many
大
occasions.
大丈夫
I doubt I should have any major problems doing it
Oh.
myself.
将軍将軍料理できないじゃん。
The tea is ready.
Oh,
Please give it a try.
she cannot cook.
So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it.
大丈夫。
I'm not sure how to explain it.
うーん。
You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto,
誠
and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation
Oh.
reasonably light-hearted.
重い話を
But
ね。
now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may. The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend,
500年前。
Kitsune Saigu, they also took
Saigu.
Makoto away from me for good.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Konria alone,
感類や。
without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead.
あ
But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind.
うん。
Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden.
わあ、誠。
Yes. It was too late.
わあ。
I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind.
へえ。
As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plain of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell.
うん。
I cried bitterly.
うんうん。
Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Konria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity.
うんうんうん。
As a testament to that
そうい
decision,
うことだったの。
I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely
うんうん
and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
うん。
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo,
うん。
the tree that you know as the sacred sakura.
そうなの
That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. that it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised
どういう
about.
ことだ
No one
ってばよ。
questioned it. And yet, its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
誠の力だったのかも。そうね。誠図パワー。
Yes. She had such a great love for this land and for its people.
うん。
In this respect, I still do not compare to her. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again.
うんうんうん。
Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
すごい。すごい考えたね。
Oh, while we're on the topic,
あ、そっか。
since you experienced that battle in person,
妹。ホタルちゃん。ホタルちゃん
Sister.
見なかった？
I had heard that you were looking for your family.
うん。
You mean to say that she was somehow involved in the Kanria disaster?
based
Haru,
on what
haru,
we've
haru.
learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I
仕
guess.
方ない。
Boy, both of you have experienced great tragedy.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the tea master's memory. Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
We should go.
悲しい。
Let's keep following the traces.
めっちゃ悲し
Very
いじゃ
well.
ん。
Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last.
おラストモンスター。え、めっちゃ悲しい。めっちゃ悲しい過去というか、あ、いた。ペイン。う、指いた。誠エイ。サト。こっち？下か？あ、あった。めっちゃ悲しいやん。何？お、すごい声しとる。すごい声しとる。うえ。視点、あ！いましたよ。切る。
Once again, please leave them to me.
マジか。
Hey, are you sure you're all right? You're scaring us.
大丈夫？私勝てるか？
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
大丈夫？辛いんじゃないか？怖い。あー、バリアくれ。痛いよ。バリアくだ
There
さ
is
い。
no escape. Ha! Torn to oblivion.
I need シールド。勝利先生が必要。わーん。待って、
Shine
キャラ
down.
コンはやばいって。
Are you all right?
何？こんちゃん降りた。こんちゃん 大丈夫か、エイ。やっぱり勝利先生の助けが。
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
ね、なんか最後動けなくなってたからね。エイ、大丈夫か、大丈夫。
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength back.
そうだよ。
We'll deal with the monsters.
大丈夫か。あ、
Look, that's the same light again.
何が来るんだろう。お、
Where am I?
武士だ、武士。侍。
Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too.
将軍。
Are you injured, Your Excellency?
怪我。
I'm quite all right. Just
また
feeling
怪
a
我って
little
言ってる
stiff.
ね。
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
あ
Come on, men. They're coming back for more. Let's get them.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Is that a vision?
お、神の目だ。
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
あー、高層心の。
Nobody knew where your excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has
将軍が
reignited
関
the
連屋
hope
に
in
行
our
ってたか
hearts.
ら。いな
This
かったって
hope
こ
is
と。
the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
いえ。いやー、こういう、こういう部下たちめっ
Affirmative,
ちゃいい
but
よ。
watch your backs.
死んじゃうんだろ、そして。つらみ。
Protect the Almighty Shogun!
間違った。間違った。普通に間違った。
have order.
There is no escape.
よいしょ。
Sacred name, fortune
め
preserver.
っちゃ可愛いボイスね。
Oni coming through.
何。はあ。
Cha!
よいしょ。
Attaboy!
将軍。
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
倒した。
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
大丈夫かな、将軍。
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
どう
You
したん
fought
だろう。
phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further.
えー、
We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
ここは任せた。
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best. But the Almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future. No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the almighty Shogun.
Oh. Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live.
辛いんですけど。
With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun!
Glory to the Shogun!
辛いんですけど。辛い。
They're gone.
自分だよね。なんかもう辛い。
It was both.
めちゃめちゃ辛いんで。
The people's
辛いよ。
sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic
So,
duty as Inazuma's Archon, and I have neglected it for far too long. I used to think just like that samurai, that I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done.
人間は永遠の信頼に値する存在。
Yes, they are.
そう。
They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud
人
of.
間は強い。
As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future will bring healing to the scars of the past. No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. This is my promise.
頑張れ。
Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on.
将軍。かっこいい
He
ね。
looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a
そう
lot
だ
since
ね。
we
なんか
last met her.
めっちゃ変わった。邪魔だなこれ。
What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up.
えい？えい？
What's going on?
大丈夫？
Are you feeling unwell again?
My body... I can't move it.
えー、なになに？
It looks like the situation
シチュエーション？
is more serious
大丈
than
夫？
I thought.
休憩。稲妻女に行く。彼
No
女。
need. She is calling me.
すっごい苦しそうだ。
The time has come.
あ？
Can you help me walk?
Yes.
I need to go to the cave
これめっちゃ
Below
邪
the grand Narukami
めっちゃ
shrine.
邪魔なんだけど。
Why? What's in there?
洞窟戦場
A
ですだって。
battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past
ビューティフルフェイス。
and take the first steps into the future.
将軍。何？洞窟に行こう。わかった。めっちゃ苦しそうだったで。大丈夫かな？まことが呼んでんのかな？よし、行くぞ。どこなんだろうか。よいしょ。よいしょ。もっと下。いや、どこだ？ここか。来た時あるっけ、ここ。
We're finally here.
えい。
The entrance should be nearby.
マジで苦しそう。何？鳥居じゃないか。
Whoa! Where'd that Torii gate come from?
あ、大丈夫。頭が痛い。
It's
何？
getting worse again. But it's fine.
うんうん。
I'm happy.
I'm
I'm
happy.
about to put an end to it all.
めっちゃ心配だよ。
This is a
こん
place
な。
I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness.
誠の意識空間だって。
It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body as I please.
なんだって？
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she? Makoto?
いや、誠とほら考えが同じっぽくなったのに。
Follow me.
Yeah, follow you.
Where are we go?
わあ。マジ？自分から中に入るとかそういうのではなく、おう。
Paimon's dizzy. Where did we get sucked into
ど
this
こだ？
time?
ここはどこ？
Whoa. This place.
うん、一心浄土に似てる。ライデン将軍と戦ったとこ。
Look over there. It's another A.
Another A.
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules. Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Huh?
Wait. Paimon knows that voice. Is that the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct, don't you? But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion? I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
クレーターっぽい。
Wait. The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the worse. Are you all right now?
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my
将
continued
軍
use
が
of her
抵抗して
body.
いた？
As she indicates, once I started entertaining the
なるほど。
idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes. But inside a realm of consciousness,
ああ。
I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary,
へえ。
she appears here to confront me.
なるほど。これが以前言ってた永遠なる防衛機能。
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal
なる
battles
ほ
and
ど。
stuff, but not
ideals I set for the
この武
Shogun
器欲
are...
しい。
No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very foundation stone of eternity. It shall not be easily swayed. I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Oh.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you tack it through or something?
あー、そう、なんか前に残したシステムがなんか変えたくても
They both just
なん
want
か攻
the
撃
best
してく
for
るみたいなやつか。
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty,
Nani?
in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is
Oh.
the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the Raiden
なん
Shogun.
かロボチ
It
ックな
inherits
声になっ
A's
てる。
pain, the pain of inevitable loss that
Mechanical
comes
voice.
as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity. Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion.
エロージョン。
Determination, courage, love, hatred. All of these will be degraded and distorted by the incessant flow of time.
そうだね。
Only rules shall remain constant for eternity.
Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice but to overcome.
You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity.
ガーディアン・オブ・エタニティ。
And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A.
待ってかっこいい。
In the end, even the proud and
Nani?
mighty
ちょっと待
only
って、
maiden was set
さ
down and disgraced.
ねえ、さ、
I shall not fall here, though your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth.
で
Never shall it shine as brightly as it once did.
もうこういいや。何？ 痛い痛い。
Illusion shattered.
こんな。いやいやいやいや。どういうこと？痛い。
Now you shall perish.
どういう痛い痛い。これ何これ何？あ、いける。今じゃない。痛い痛い。痛い痛い。何これ？何これ？
Inazuma shines eternal. Shine down.
何？
The kitsune
Ah,
sakura
ikeそう。
blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch black rain.
無理だよねこれ。
As long as the
なんで
ley
回
lines
復してん
flow,
の？
the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
回復。
She's completely
なんで回復するの？ひどい。
Torn to oblivion.
これ回復食べた方がいい？よいしょ。 痛い痛い、死にそう。
Illusion shattered.
死にそう。あ、普通に死ぬが。
Now you shall perish.
よいしょ。これライディン将軍。うわ。なんか死んでなくない？これ無敵。
Fleeting shadow.
無敵説あるぞ。痛い痛い痛い。あ、
Illusions are but
こっちや。
distractions.
何？特殊な何？あ、これか。これじゃない？痛い痛い痛い。ちょっと違う。どれですか？いや、多分斬撃がさ、2個のやつだといてててて思うよね。いや、どこやねん。
All returns to
あ、こ
silence.
れ？
Inazuma shines eternal.
The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma
Nani?
will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest of time.
めっちゃ回復するやん、こいつ。何？
Absurd.
これ倒せるんか？めっちゃ回復するね、これ。いたたたた。
Shine down.
めちゃめちゃこれ永遠に回復するやん。痛い痛い。
Inferior.
危な。
Inferior. The eye sweeps
よいしょ。
Now you shall perish.
何？曲 マガツの雷眼。あ、何？
crumbles before.
Have you finally defeated her?
倒せたのか？
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled.
うん。
But how long can your will remain strong?
何？ずっと回復するよね。
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious indeed. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living beings, including you and me.
じゃあ無理じゃん。
Does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Never ending.
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking, one that will be resistant to erosion. If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move forward. This
あれ
is my
A。雷
duty.
電 A。
No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter how many times we must
かっこ
fight,
いい。
I will defeat her.
かっこいい。泣いてるね。ちょっと。
500 years ago,
もう
humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the diseased wood of an old sakura tree, so that new, healthy branches might spring to life in their place. It is about time that I learned to trust them.
将軍様こそが希望だと思って
I
いる。
understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which the Shogun does not exist is nothing to
シ
fear.
ュユ。
I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long the battle may last,
雷
it is
電。
but a drop in the ocean of
Eh?
eternity.
かっこいいんだ
I
けど。
vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return.
めっちゃかっこいい。
This is my oath. Please, be my witness.
Yes.
During my absence, I place everything in Miko's hands.
うん。
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
えい。頑張って。頑張ってほしい。めっちゃかっこいい。何？超か
Looks
っ
like
こい
we
いやん
got
か。
kicked out.
追い出された。追い出された
Oh,
よ。
what do we do? Are we really just gonna leave A and the Shogun to keep on duking it out in there forever? She was making sense, and maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still...
唯一の方法じゃないと。
Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times, and has a history of rushing into difficult situations. What if she gets too obsessed with winning, and she forgets why she's there in the first place? It could
やばい
happen,
やばい。
and then she might never leave again!
そうだね。まだ離れるわけにはいかない。
Yeah, we should help her out, like we did last time! The quicker she gets through this, the better!
Yes。手伝おう
Is。there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her win the fight?
勝利先生を出す。
Well, whatever. We can't let anything bad happen to A while she's in there. Oh, but we also can't get in there anymore.
いや、入れるかもしれ
Okay,
ん。
well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't feel time on now. Okay. Maybe if we both ran into it at the same time really, really hard.
ミコに
Oh,
聞
you're
こう。
right. Simon nearly forgot about her. Who knows if she really understands these consciousness realm playing thingies
そう
more
ね
than we
行こう
do,
行こ
but there's no one else we can
う。
turn
体当た
to.
りして入れたらいいけどね。
All right, up the mountain we go.
よし。ミコお。やいミコ。いたー。 こんにちは。
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess.
ナイスボイス。
You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
But you're always smiling.
That was a figure of
ニヤニヤしてるだ
speech.
ろ
Do
って。
you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase.
ごめん
The
なさい。
sheer audacity.
ごめんなさい。はい、本題を。
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's she.
映画。
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's
めっちゃ
decided
落
to
ち着い
palm
てんね。
Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date.
うんうんうん。
Impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable. Presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like A, all right.
めっちゃ
You
落ち
know
着
as
いて
well
る
as
けど。
I do that she's
大丈
always
夫な
been
の
like
か？
this. Why start fretting about it now?
絵は少し焦ってる。そう。危ないんだよ。
Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave you that idea?
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Uh-huh. You're learning, little one.
え
But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden
やばくない？
Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do.
やば
All I
やば
know
く
is
な
that
い？
it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura, and from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer alive?
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only
空
speculate.
間そのものの性
You're
質。
the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. What was it like?
あー、わからなかった。わからなか
Anyway,
った
we
よ。
needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all. First things first. Follow me to the entrance.
オッケー。そうだね。また戻らないと。ね。どこだっけ？ここだ。よし。行くぜ。ん？合ってんね。
Now then, I always have my ways.
Oh.
It's just a question of how crafty I need to be.
なんだ。
To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial
machi?
location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
イエーイ。プリーズ
So,
プリーズ。
it's abstract, but has a location. But you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there.
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, Paimon, stay here then. You two can go in.
パイモン。ダメでしょ。
Suit
一緒に
yourself.
行くんだよ。
Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Paimon! I have to hear it, both of you! Oh, fine. Paimon's coming too.
Oh,
やっ
well, if you're
Paimon.
quite sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way.
あ、Thank you。どうやって？おー。
I say.
どうしたの？
Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside.
私の
Only
願
a
い
strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
なるほど。
Well then, the door's open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands.
Thank
For
you.
my sake and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
bring her back.
Nico, you better know what you're doing.
大丈夫だと思う。
That's enough chatter. Get to work.
味方だしな。行くで。さあ。あ、意識を。願いを。願いを。
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Na. 着いた。着いた。あ、えい。来ました。
How can this be? You have returned.
昔？
But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years?
昔。
This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then.
浦島太郎
Over
的な。
countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation. Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity.
ずっと戦ってた
Now
のに。
these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel, the conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel?
ファイナル。
So you're finally willing to...
なんだ。
Stand back, traveler.
かっこいいです。かっこいいです。
I'm going to be the start of something new.
かっこいいです。
The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the
うげえ
rise and
ちょっ
fall
と
of
待って
nations.
くれよ。何？
Energy they consumed, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn
これ
day
ずっと
into night.
何これ？
The will I carry within me will never be eroded nor destroyed. And the
Nani, nani,
will they
nani.
demanded,
絶対
sufficient to
絶対怖
penetrate
い。
minds and crush dreams.
恐ろしいね。
Yet, you have endured.
後ろからやっとけばなんとかなるかなと。永遠に幻想バック。何？これか？バリアを展開せよ。あ、なるほど。こういうこと？バリアを張らなきゃいけなかったわけね今。いやかっこよ。なんかメカメカしいね。何これは何？よいしょ。何これは何？痛いのか。
Torn to oblivion. Remove
死
all
なねこれ。
obstacles.
い。あ、これ多分死なないやつやね。
Shine down.
よし。じゃあ頑張って殴っていこう。
Inazuma shines eternal.
なんかやばそう。
Ha! There is no escape.
すごいかっこいいですね。She has a lot of
Illusion
arms.
shattered. Torn to oblivion.
うわよいしょ。
There is no escape.
何？あ、これだ。
Ha!
何かなんだろうな、あれは腕？アーム。よいしょ。
There is no escape.
これ
Now you shall
簡
perish.
単なのかもしれん。簡単すぎるんだよ。イエーイ。勝ったで。
This is the end. You have won. I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future, and you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this,
稲妻国民の
I feel something stirring within
みんなの
Muso
思い
Ishin.
が
The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me.
誠から受け継いだ
I
んだこれ。
noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power. This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her.
なるほど。
When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again. It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet her blade brings me closer to her. You have my approval.
おうよかった。
Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me.
You are me.
Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow.
かっこいい。
The duties I perform will
め
not
ちゃめちゃかっ
change.
こいい。
But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future.
あ
Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat? It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
誠光ってる。
Hello, A. And
Makoto.
greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces.
Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released.
Wow.
A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But... you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry.
Makoto.
I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness.
Did you know what was about to happen in Conria?
I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore. In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime. But I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many times along the way.
Don't look down on me.
See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain. Here, take it. Before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
なんだ?
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh?
Is it really?
Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh?
Goodbye, Makoto.
普通に泣いちゃった。誠。
So the A of the present planted the sacred sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power.
めっちゃ
Her understanding of
Makoto.
eternity is much more profound than mine.
うん
Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky.
時間の概念が曖昧になります。そうね。時間が進んでるのに答えま
A
してた。
place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with
あ
ordinary
の桜
logic.
は誠が。
Ah, so that was the turbulence I was sensing.
おやった。
Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
なんだ
I know what you mean. Perhaps Makoto got a higher power involved in all of this. But whatever the explanation, her solution is what saved us all. Without the sacred sakura,
すごい。
Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the filth.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred sakura and Makoto's consciousness, but unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
No. But I understand why now. It was because the sacred sakura hadn't even been planted then.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
そうね。そう。
The sacred sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
そうなんだ。
Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today.
形変えてたわけじゃなくて、
And
狐が
obviously
やっ
I
てた
played
から。
my part too.
うんうんうん。
It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you?
そうね。願ってたよ。
At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed
浦島太郎
anomalies in
じ
the
ゃん。
flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A. So this time, it looks like thanks are due to you.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
運命の必然。将軍の言ってた。
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the
驚い
traveler
てたもんね。
reappeared.
なんで前と一緒
My
なのって
first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome. You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the
よかった。
Shogun's will no longer
ち
fights
ょっと苦
against
し
me.
そうだったもんな。
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice.
I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward.
Move forward.
I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day.
でも、も大切なことをやり
I
遂げ
just
た。
planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing!
最後の恋は簡単なものに見えたけど、無数の努力によってなったもの。そうだね。因果が逆になったことからって自分を卑下しないで。
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally
Konnichiwa.
emerge from the shadows
Konbanwa.
cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both are indispensable.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously accept them.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same thing!
言ってたね。
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to maybe take the position of shogun for a couple of days?
かわいい。
Actually, no.
じとめ。
Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
ゆうち将
We
軍
will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the future. After that,
お、
I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really?
鎖国を解除するって。
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by
マ
stasis.
ジ
In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key. I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma.
多くの出会いが生まれ
I'm
る。
looking forward to it.
そうか。鎖国を。いや、すごくよかった。パチパチ。パチパチ。素晴らしかったね。エイと喋って終わりにしようかな。
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
なんだろう。試練について。
Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. It would be folly to say that it will be all positive,
そうだね。
and there will be no negative repercussions.
いろいろあるだ
For
ろう。
example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses. These are the issues that I must work to solve.
そうね、鎖国やると。
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously. I've only got as far as wondering whether I'll be able to sell entrance tickets to the Grand Narukami Shrine in the future.
そうね。
Honestly, Miko.
いいじゃん。
Many challenges still lie ahead for
大
Inazuma.
丈夫。よし。It's time to finish. マイスマホバッテリーやばの電池がね、もうね、3% くらいしかないんですよ。なので、ちょっともう今日は終わりにして、また次、NEXT is、なんだっけ、ダメだ。八重美コードストーリーが早く終わらないとね、ちょっと、マジです。2% とかだから。スマートフォンバッテリー 2% now。そう。やば。OK。See you next stream. Thank you for coming. ありがとうございました。じゃあまた次の配信で。バイバイ。おつしんちん。